Gonna put her in like that. Oops, hit the camera a bit, good. It's gonna go right in there like nothing. Oh, there we go. Hit the camera some more. Yes. Hit the camera again. I think that's okay. Okay, you know what?
The suspension is now tacked on to one piece of heavy rectangular tubing, which we happen to have kicking around, and they're both the right length, and we just used it the length it came. So that's tacked on. It is 2 inch by 3 inch, I think 3/16 wall thickness. Maybe it didn't have to be quite that steady, but sturdy. But it is the only piece that holds the steering on. Although we may attach the roll cage up on the top, which will sort of tie it all in together and give it a little more strength. Then it goes, move that, underneath the cross piece, because that gives us about the right height, we think, for suspension. And then we tie it in across here, across the back, so it acts like a kind of reverse trailer hitch. It'll sit out there, and then when it tries to move up and down, it'll be supported by those two cross pieces, which should be sturdy enough to take any kind of a beating that bumps are going to give it. I'm drilling through that little block that's going to become the steering box. This hole is going to have a 1 inch diameter rack in it. And the 1 inch diameter rack has to slide back and forth, and was afraid that the metal round rack and the metal box are just going to start rubbing and hitting, and it's not going to run freely. So I thought maybe I should put a bushing in there, a nylon bushing or a bronze bushing. Couldn't figure out a way to hold it in there really, because it's got to slide up and down, back and forth. And the bushing will probably just slide out. So in the end, did a little bit of bronze welding, brazed a little bit on a little rim, and now I'm drilling that out to the right size, and there will be hopefully this little rim of bronze left. Trying to invent a little rack and pinion steering. So I've got this block, little U-shaped piece welded up, drilled 1 inch hole for a 1 inch round bar. In the 1 inch round bar, cut a slot for the piece of chain. And the chain fits into the slot, like so. It'll have to get welded in. And on the bottom side, there is another slot cut. So you got to have a milling machine or some means or some way of cutting these slots. And you can buy key stock shafting already with that keyway cut in it. But I have access to a milling machine, so I cut the slot. On the bottom, there will be a piece of metal, sort of like this. It'll fit into that slot, and it'll have 2 holes in here. And this will go back and forth, and the 2 holes will be for the steering arms. So as it slides back and forth, theoretically, if it works, that'll move the steering back and forth. And will give us the center distance of the 2 holes. If they're the same center distance as our pivot, steering arms are both the same length as this, and as the suspension goes up and down, the steering will remain consistent. If they're too much different lengths, you get a little bit of bump steer, I guess, as you go up and down. The steering will go a little bit of this. So hopefully we get everything lined up, and hopefully this is cheap, and you never know, it might even work. And we hold it up here. This is going to have to sit somewhere in here, and it's going to have to sit somewhat of an angle so that the steering column ends up pointing up over here to where the driver is going to be sitting. Okay, this is going to be the rack of the rack and pinion steering. We have our number 35 chain glued, welded into there with a bunch of little tacks. The chain seems to be pretty thin and melt pretty quick, but if we get the tacks right, they seem to hold it on, I think, well enough so that it won't move. It does, the chain sticks up a little bit above, which it sort of needs to do to make sure the sprocket teeth go in far enough. So I think we'll just round that off the top of the chain. It doesn't really count for anything here, it doesn't have to pivot. So grind it a little bit and make sure it's going to fit into that round hole of the steering box. So this is how it's going to go. So did a little bit of grinding, and a little bit crude, and a bit of filing, and a bit of polishing. And then, with any luck, blow it out with an air hose or something, but it should slide pretty freely without a lot of slop. So sprocket's going to get welded on here. I'm just going to hold it on tight. Could clamp it up somehow, it'd be even better. But it's running a mighty low speed for the steering, so it'll probably be good. I'm going to hold it on tight. Kevin's going to tack it.
Okay, go.
Are you serious? Okay.
It's not like we've ever had to do anything twice.
Just a second, I'll get the steering, second steering column. This so exciting part. Where'd that sprocket go?
Oh, good one.
Okay. So this there, now you can see how that's going to work. Well, actually can't. So if this goes down, that hub is too long. We fix it. We solved the problem. Put the hub to the inside. I didn't think it would fit in there before, but it turns out it fits in there perfectly. So that was it. We're good. Now it'll work. We'll do a keyway in here, I guess. A key or a set screw. In a real pinch, we could tack weld it on, but I think to be fancy, it would be a key. And to be not fancy, it'd be the set screw. But if we took this plate off, undid those 4 bolts we'd get at the set screw. That would work. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not a problem. The main thing is
we are fancy people. So.
It works here.
I was hoping you'd be wearing socks with those sandals, but to prove my fancy point. But
and for the bare naked feet look today. Okay.
I think you crossed the line there.
It's positioned at the angle. Tilting back is about as much as we can make it tilt. And we're going to twist it back about as much as we can twist, so that there will be an increased chance of the steering tending to return to center because of the caster effect. So we're trying to get some caster in it so the steering automatically returns to straight. So we're going to angle this back, so we're a little racing go-kart, tilt it and angle it, and weld this bolt on. This bolt will end up being the spindle, won't it?
Yeah.
No, it won't. Why not?
Because it's too short.
Too short. After much careful measuring, we're out by an inch. So we're going to remeasure, trade in the bolt for one that can actually be a spindle, and then weld it on there at the right angle. But right now we can at least weld these on, so we'll do that.
No gloves.
Spindle, right here, ready to go. So tack them on the top, and then we'll adjust a little bit for level. Here we go.
Huh? There's no ground. Oh, I thought that it would work if it just hung over the edge like that.
Should work. There we go, tacking. So, straight in, this way, so the wheels will be pointing straight ahead, and we will check that this is level.
There.
Right, pointing in the right place. Okay, so now give it another tack here somewhere. Tacked on the little cross piece. We're gonna have to thread the hole, so we just got it tacked on. We'll drill through. It's pretty easy to do. Just a quick, easy drilling. Nothing to it.
I think it's dull.
Any little kid can do it. Are you running it in forward, or is it in reverse right now?
I am running it forward.
Forward is good, okay. I can do it for you if you want.
Fine. Go ahead.
Okay, try old man strength, see if that works. Oh yeah, that's nothing to it. That's so easy, I'll just do the other one for you while I'm at it.
What a jerk.
Okay. Now we have to thread the holes. It would be good if you had a tap wrench. This is a pretty iffy wrench to be using. But the regular tap wrench is so big it doesn't work.
Alright, so we tacked on the, oops, there we go, small piece of metal, tacked it on there like I just said, and then we drilled holes, threaded those holes, and now have bolted them on. If we want to take this off, we just have to unbolt these. I guess first we'd have to grind off these tacks, but that probably won't take very long anyway. Okay.
Check this for level, tack this on. Okay, zoom in here, check for level, tacked it on.
Even hotter than hot.
Hotter than hot.
It was on F. Hilarious.
So, this little tab with the two holes in it, conk me on the head, is for the two tie rods, and it is getting welded onto the rack. Try it again. Goes back and forth. Greatest of ease. Okay, another tack in there would be grand. Good one. Here we go. Pliers are underneath that rag over there. The oily rag that's under where you're welding, yeah.
Not perfect, okay?
Wait, here we go.
Yeah, put her in like that. Oops, hit the camera a bit, good. It's gonna go right in there like nothing. Oh, there we go. Hit the camera some more. Yes. Hit the camera again. Everything comes again. Okay, you know what? Feel life a little. Oh my goodness! Where did that go? The dominant hand going. Oh, drop that one. Wow, this is a little bit too much for me. Alright, now we'll pretend that I didn't spend 10 minutes trying to tighten these up with everything going south in a hurry. Almost broke the tacks off the steering. Almost broke the tacks off the steering box. And then we'll have some sort of support coming up here so then it holds the weight.
Get a couple tacks at the bottom. Only one here just for now. We'll try it out again. Make sure it's good. Pretend. Kevin will pretend where the steering wheel goes. Pretend you're steering. So that angle, I guess, will be okay. Mighty close. And the suspension should work a little bit.
Nice.
Not bad.
Time to drive it.
Not sure we really need a steering wheel. This is actually pretty slick.